what the black man and woman needs to know about the nation, about the world, about themselves. Muhammad Speaks It. To order your 12-issue subscription to Muhammad Speaks newspaper, 313-371-7033. 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie is the grand champion of all bean pies. The rich flavor and smooth texture takes this pie to a whole new level of delicious. One bite and you'll understand why people all over the country call daily to order Kareem Bean Pie. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033. Kareem Bean Pie.
This bean pie is delicious.
Muhammad Speaks presents Messenger Elijah Muhammad's Teachings by Minister Khalil Shabazz every Sunday from 2 to 3 p.m. at Muhammad's Temple of Islam, 12609 East McNichols Road in Detroit.
I like to say in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, in the name of his last and greatest messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'd like to greet the brothers and sisters with the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. Today, we like to talk about the September 23rd, 1966 Muhammad Speaks, and his money, good homes, and friendships. Oh yeah, and in the cartoon, the messenger got separation where we can go and build for self. And then he got a group of people on one side. Then he has integration. And he got people who are blindfolded walking into a pit with white people with bats and sticks beating on the people who want integration. So the messenger says, money, good homes, and friendships in all walks of life is what God has promised us. The God who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praises is due forever. The finder and redeemer of us who were lost from our people and country for the past 400 years. Now that's the most important part to money, good homes, and friendships in all walks of life, is that Master Farad Muhammad is offering this to us.
Yes, sir.
Because we have today, we like to say how the messenger said we gonna set ourselves in heaven at once. Because we always like to just take these little quotes and then take it out of context. But the teaching that the messenger taught about money, good homes, and friendships in all walks of life, he talked about this as an offer that's been made to us by God himself.
Yes, sir.
That's how he presents the money, good homes, and friendships in all walks of life. Because he even goes further and talks about it in the Our Savior Has Arrived, and it's in the section called Be Yourself. The messenger says Allah's greatest teaching and warning to us, the so-called Negroes, is be yourself. What is our own self? He answers that your own self is a righteous Muslim born of the tribe of Shabazz. Now what he says is Allah's greatest teaching and warning to us. It ain't just a teaching, it's a warning to accept your own and be. What does warning mean? It says warning is a statement or event that indicates a possible or impeding danger, problem, or unpleasant situation.
Yes, sir.
That's what warning means. Warning don't mean it's an option. Warning mean it's something unpleasant that's ahead of you if you don't take heed to this warning.
That's right.
What warning mean?
Right.
The messenger says Allah's greatest teaching and warning to us, the so-called Negroes, is be yourself. What is our own self? He answers. He answers that your own self is a righteous Muslim born of the tribe of Shabazz. He taught us that we are the original people of the earth who have no birth record. He calls on us to submit to him, that he will set us in heaven at once.
Yes, sir.
So that's what the heaven at once means. Submitting to him.
That's right.
We can't forget about that part.
Yes, sir.
We can't forget about the teaching that the messenger taught us on heaven. We can't take little excerpts of what he said about heaven, like to set yourself in heaven at once stuff, and miss the whole teaching that he taught about being in heaven. Because we don't believe in a spook heaven.
That's right.
We don't believe in a heaven after you die. But our heaven is conditional. We don't have that kind of heaven that just because you're a Muslim, you get into heaven. Right. It's conditional.
Yes, sir.
Everything that we do and everything that we have in the Nation of Islam is conditional.
Yes, sir.
So the messenger says, he taught us that we are the original people of the earth who have no birth record. He calls on us to submit to him that he will set us in heaven at once. He has made it clear what constitutes heaven on earth. Freedom, justice, equality, money, good homes, and friendships in all walks of life. This is what constitutes heaven on earth. What constitutes heaven on earth, and he said he has made it clear what constitutes heaven on earth. Freedom, justice, equality, money, good homes, and friendships in all walks of life. That's what constitutes heaven on earth. Then he goes on to say, this Christianity cannot give to us, not the Christianity that has been taught to us. He says he greatly rejoiced over us and was very happy that he had found us. He said that he will make a new people out of us who submit to him. So once again, we got this submitting to him part, because we can't forget about that, because we now know that man is God. Now we know that we can set ourselves in heaven at once. But the only way we can do that is by submitting to the will of Allah.
That's right.
It's the only way we can do that. That's what constitutes heaven.
Yes, sir.
Upon our submittance to the will of Allah. So the messenger goes even further. He says, he now offers to set us in heaven at once. The base of heaven is being free from want, free from our enemies, having a good home, a place of peace and rest, and have friendship. Without friendship in all walks of life, money and good homes count for nothing. He says this world has money and good homes, but does not have friendship in all walks of life. These are the things that God promised the lost and found members of the black nation. This is what we got to remember. Because the white man got money and good homes.
Right.
But he don't have friendships in all walks of life.
That's right.
Because there's two heavens. You got the white man's heaven and you got the black man's heaven. Two different heavens. The white man's heaven is the black man's hell. All praise due to Allah. You got to understand that. The white man's heaven is the black man's hell.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side, the black man's heaven is the white man's hell.
That's right, bro.
All praise due to Allah. That's why the black man and the white man is always at odds.
That's right.
Because we by nature, we two different people. His heaven is our hell. Let's look at the heaven of the white man for a minute. We'll start here in Detroit. This is a video. This is a video that's on HBO. This is an HBO documentary that says people are making big money kicking Detroit residents out of their homes.
That's right. That's right.
This is a part of the white man's heaven. The white man's heaven is the black man's hell.
That's right.
You got to just understand that it's two different worlds. So this documentary, this is a sad documentary when you watch it. It could almost bring tears to your eyes to see how this devil is doing black people in the city. So in this documentary, they showing how with this tax foreclosure thing. Now they have outside scholars who come to Detroit to study what's going on in the city. And they can't believe these white people who saying that what the city is doing is illegal. What they doing with this tax, this assessment thing, when they over-assessing your house. Because when they started over-assessing people's houses, they didn't stop. It's like if you make a mistake to over-assess a person's house, and you know we over-assessing these people's house, you correct the mistake.
That's right.
They still over-assessing black people's houses. So what they say happening is the city over-assess your house. They know they over-assessing your house. Then once your house goes into tax foreclosure, they give it to Wayne County. Because the Wayne County treasurer is the one who do the auctions on your house. So they say that what they supposed to do is give you the option to buy your house back. So the white man trying to act like he got a heart for the black man. So he tell you, okay, you ain't had this tax foreclosure on your house. You done paid for it. You've been living there, some of these black people, for years. You done paid your mortgage off. So we'll give you the opportunity to pay it off. So they had these black people coming down there, filling out the paperwork, doing all of this stuff. Because the people who they was shown were stressed out about this. But this is my house. I got history in my house. My mama lived here. My daddy lived here. They passed it on to me. I done had kids. They grown and went to college. This our house. This been in our lineage for a long time. So the people stressed out. So what they say that the Wayne County do is they sell the houses in a bundle. Because they don't sell individual houses in the auction with this, what they call it, the opportunity zone stuff. Right. They selling these houses in a bundle. So you can get your house back, but you're going to have to pay for that whole bundle. Sometimes these devils buying 200-300 houses at a time in a bundle. 200-300 homes in a bundle. So they had these devils who was in West Bloomfield. They showed these devils. They showed them at their house buying up these houses. So they had this devil riding around Detroit picking houses that he want, with people still living in them. Still living in them. Still. So they said, how does the process go? He said, well, some of these houses we buy for $500. So he said, once we get them, we charge the tenant. Now you a tenant. You was the homeowner. Now you a tenant. He said, we charge the tenant. We don't even make them pay no security deposit. Because once they pay that first $500, everything else is profit. That's what this devil said. Him and his daddy buying up hundreds of houses in the city. So it was this sister. She said, I might have to be a renter. But I refuse to rent from one of them who gonna buy my house after I done paid for it. I done raised my kids in this house, and they gonna auction off my house while I'm still living in it. That was sad to watch it, because these devils don't care. They buy hundreds of houses. Hundreds after the city and Wayne County know they oversessed. The white man's heaven. That's right. Is the black man's hell. That's right. So then we can go even further than that. This right here comes from the DetroitNews.com. It says contractor's name on price for Detroit demolition dirt. Email shows. So Kwame went to jail for 28 years for giving black people contracts. But this devil Duggan let these devils come in here and get contracts and say, name your own price. That's right. Yes, sir. What you want? How much you want to do it for? Ain't no black people getting these contracts, but the devil. And they know. They making, I'm talking about Metro Times and the Detroit News come out with these articles all the time about Duggan and these contracts. All this opportunity zone stuff, these free taxes. A lot of articles. You will be surprised how many, I'm talking about 2019 articles. Not no stuff back in 2006. 2019 articles talking about how this devil is giving away Detroit to these white folks. That's right. Yeah. All these white folks, they talking about people from California called Detroit. Can't believe you selling a house for $500? $500 with the occupants in it. So I buy this house for $500. I got an automatic tenant. You ain't gotta look for one. He already been keeping the house up. He been living there for a long time? That's free money. This is what's going on in the city of Detroit. The black man, the white man's heaven is the black man's hell. That's right. It's just what it is. That's right. Then we got another article. This article comes from the Michigan Chronicle. It says thousands of low-income Detroit moms' cars stuck at impound. This one was crazy too. This says thousands of low-income Metro Detroit moms cannot drive to work because law enforcement officers tow away their cars after they are unable to show proof of insurance, according to Wayne County clerk records. So they targeting single moms to take their car because they know that in the city of Detroit, they can't afford to pay the car insurance. That's right. Facts. Right. The white man's heaven is the black man's hell. That's right. And this is why the messengers say he got money and good homes. But he don't have friendships in all walks of life.
Yes, sir.
Because most people hate the white man. All praise to Allah. Most people hate the white man. Only person that love the white man is the so-called American Negro.
That's right.
I learned that when I was in the military. When you go overseas and see these people, they hate this devil. The thing that's holding them back is like on training day. When Denzel Washington went to that community at the end, when that white boy got the upper hand, they didn't love Denzel. They was waiting for the tables to turn. When the tables turned, Denzel saw all of them hated him. They were just waiting for the opportunity. That's the way it is with this devil. Don't nobody love the white man. Nobody. But his military be strong. We went to Turkey. This Turkish person told us that. He woke us up to that. We was asked him because he was showing us love. He had us, we was buying all these coats and furs and stuff from him real cheap. He let us eat at his restaurant. He was showing us love. So we was like, yo, let's ask you a question. Why y'all hate America? Why? You know what I'm saying? He was like, because what America does to us, he said. He said they don't attack us direct. He said what they do is they do stuff to the countries that's over us to cause them to do stuff to us to cause us not to be able to eat. Like how they do, I think it was Haiti with rice. Or countries that make sugar. Or these countries make this stuff and export this stuff, but it costs them more to obtain this stuff than the devil. The devil get a cheaper price on rice and your country produce rice. The white man get a cheaper price on chocolate and your country produce chocolate. The people who produce chocolate is poor, but the white man who's selling it is rich.
That's right.
That's how the white man do. And don't nobody love him. Because the white man's heaven is the black man's hell all over the country.
Yes, sir.
Don't nobody love him. Nobody. The only people who love the white man is the so-called American Negro.
That's right.
It says, consequently, these near minimum wage earners lose their only means of transportation and must scramble to find other ways to take their children to daycare and doctor appointments. Essentially, thousands of cars bulge through the gates of police impounds because the mothers don't earn enough money to pay Detroit's unaffordable car insurance rates. For instance, non-Michigan residents are astonished that Michigan drivers pay an average of $2,693 annually and take aback that Wayne County residents, including Detroit, pay nearly double that at the rate of $5,646 per year. So everybody in the state of Michigan paying high car insurance. The average in Michigan is $2,693 annually. $2,000, nearly $3,000. But in Detroit, ours is nearly $6,000. It's $5,646 per year. It says this means Detroiters in particular have to pay the highest car insurance premiums in the nation, even though the Motor City has the lowest per capita income among large U.S. cities. We paying more car insurance than Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, all that. We paying more car insurance than them. And they was talking about in the article is how because of this, you had these people like LA Insurance who come out and get the little 2-week insurance, but you paying $800 for that.
That's right. That's right.
More devils get the benefit off of our misery. So the article goes on even further. It says, since it says since most Detroiters are unable to pay the premiums, many don't have coverage. This explains why police impounds are crammed with confiscated vehicles that otherwise can be driven. According to 36 district court records, when a single mom is pulled over for no insurance coverage, her car is impounded and she is written a $200 misdemeanor citation. To get the car back, these distressed moms are required to show proof of insurance and pay up to $900 in towing and storage fees in order to get vehicles released from police custody. Since most struggling moms cannot afford adequate insurance coverage, nor the dispiriting towing and storage scams, Their cars are auctioned away oftentimes to police officers after 30 days. So this devil now, the white man's heaven, is the black man's hell.
Right.
Now,
Right.
they know that most of these is single mothers with children. They don't care. They targeting them. And they know they targeting them. They know the car insurance high. They know all of that. That's why the messenger said, we don't vote. We vote for Allah.
That's right.
We vote for.
That's right.
There's no time voting when this devil know that this tax assessment is against the law and the Constitution. He know. He write articles about it. All these politicians know. People in other states know. It's illegal.
Right.
It's against the law. They don't care. They benefiting off of it. All the devils in the country is benefiting off of this gentrification. That's not just going on in the city. It's going on in other cities. This is in gentrifying Philly, speculators pay heirs peanuts, then flip their properties for massive gains. In this article, they paid this woman $14,000 for her house in Philly. They flipped it 2 days later for $144,000. Paid her $14,000. Flipped it for $144,000. It's the white man.
That's right. That's right.
White man's heaven.
Yep.
It's the black man's hell.
That's right.
So we need to understand that as Muslims, it's two different heavens.
Yeah.
You got the heaven in Islam, and you got the heaven in Christianity.
Yes, sir.
Our heaven is totally different.
That's right.
But we only get this heaven upon our submittance to Allah.
That's right.
Because when you come in Islam, you learn the difference between black and white. You learn that the white man's the devil. You learn all the hell he giving you.
That's right.
And you have the opportunity to give him back his word.
That's right.
Give him back his names, his religion, his way of life, all that.
That's right.
Because the messenger always made it plain what it is in Islam. At the bottom of this cartoon, it say the so-called Negro must clean up.
That's right.
That's number one.
Right.
That's the thing that we got to understand in this new school stuff. Because today, we got many nations of Islam. Let's keep it real. It's many nations of Islam. You can choose what kind of nation of Islam you want. If you the type of brother who like wearing beards, you can choose one of them. You don't want to wear your headpiece, you can choose one of them. You don't want to do whatever you want to do, you can choose whatever kind of nation of Islam you want. That's up to you. But the truth is being made known. Because that ain't going to be no excuse for you. Because the truth is being made known. And the messenger said that Allah told the devil, I feel hell with them all.
Right.
You ain't coming here begging. That's the one thing we got to understand. We got to give the truth to people and just let them make up their mind.
Right.
All praise to Allah. Because we also are held accountable for not telling the truth.
That's right.
We hold accountable. Everybody is accountable when it comes to this truth thing. The people who don't know and the people who do know. The people who don't know, when the truth is offered to you, you got an option to make. To choose the right way or the wrong way.
That's right.
And the people who know the truth have the duty to get it to them.
That's right.
To tell as many people as you can. But in Islam, so-called American Negro must clean up.
That's right.
Because if you choose one of these other nations of Islam, that don't mean that you ain't got to clean up. The rules still apply. You ain't no Muslim just because you wear a bow tie.
Right.
You ain't no Muslim or no MGT just because you got a garment on. No. The so-called Negro must clean up.
Right.
That's number one. Because the messenger taught us that we must accept our own and be ourselves.
That's right.
What is our own? Our own self is a righteous Muslim.
Yes, sir.
Because Islam is about to take over.
Yep.
That's the one thing we got to understand. We being offered this because Islam is taking over.
Yes, sir.
The white man ain't interfering. He letting Muslims tell who you want to tell. You can stand on the corner, sell your papers. We on YouTube. We got online. You on Facebook. You on Instagram. All that. This devil ain't bothering. We can change your name if you want to. Because this is the end
That's right.
for the white man.
Right.
And everybody given the opportunity to accept or reject the truth. Because there once was a time where the white man wouldn't let us be called by our own name. We had to take his name. Now you can be called by whatever name you want to be called. It once was a time we couldn't eat good foods. The devil used to make us eat hard.
Yep.
Now you choose what you want to eat, whatever you want to eat. He'll tell you the bad foods. He'll tell you McDonald's is bad. Choose what you want.
Right.
Choose what you want.
Right.
But the so-called Negro must clean up.
That's right.
That's the bottom line, because the messenger gave us the illustration always of the mosque and the church. It's different in the church. You don't have to clean up in the church. Because you see in this picture, both groups of black people came into the mosque, and the black people who came into the church came in the same way. We all deaf, dumb, and blind. So when they came out of the church, they were still drinking and smoking. But when this brother and sister came out of the mosque, they was different. They couldn't come into the mosque and then come out of the mosque and still be drinking and smoking.
Right. That's right.
You can't do that. Not under the teachings of the message.
Right. Right.
You know, they got to make that clear. In these other nations of Islam, maybe you can do that. But under the teachings of the message,
That's right.
you can't do that. You couldn't do it then and you can't do it now.
That's right.
All praise be to Allah.
That's right.
Because the messenger is teaching us to accept our own. Our own is being righteous by nature.
That's right.
That's our own. Our own ain't drinking and smoking. That's the white man's thing.
That's right.
That's how he destroyed us with this.
That's
This
right.
drinking and smoking. That's how he make his heaven. All these black people that he taking advantage of. When you look at single mothers. When you have in Islam, you have Muslim courtship. Is that right or wrong? In Islam.
Right.
To prevent the single mother thing. Now, we're not trying to criticize hard sisters being single mothers. We're not trying to do that. But you got to look at Islam and look at Christianity. Ain't no rules in Christianity. Ain't no laws in Christianity. If you want to go and you want to shack up, ain't nothing to stop you. Ain't no teaching to teach you how to be a man. Your duty and your role to your woman, your nation, and your children. You don't learn that in the church. You're not held to a standard. But in Islam, the messenger taught us that we are held to a high moral standard.
That's right.
High moral standard. We're not here to practice the way of life of the white man.
That's right.
Because that's his way with the fornication thing.
That's right.
That's his way with the baby mama thing. That's his way with the abortion. That's not our way. So we have Muslim courtship. Teach the brother and the sister they role.
That's right.
They don't have that in Christianity. So since most of our brothers and sisters is Christian, most of our brothers and sisters shack up, most of our brothers and sisters fornicate. So when the sister get pregnant, now the devil got the upper hand. He can take advantage of her. Now he can use her to help him build his heaven. What can the black man do? When this devil done had your woman who got your kids taking her car, so now your kids not. Got to find some other way to go to school and go to the doctor. They didn't say find another way to go to McDonald's. They didn't say find another way to go to nothing social, go to the park. They let you know some serious stuff. Go to the doctor and go to school. Huh? They got to find another way. Because that's the point with the white man. The white man's heaven is the black man's head.
That's right.
All praises due to Allah. But when you come to Islam, you got a choice.
That's right.
The messenger always put these choices in our face. This right here was always under the messenger's article. He always had the filth of the filth. Because the messenger taught us that a nation can rise no higher than its woman.
Yes, sir.
And we see all praises due to Allah.
That's right. Yes, sir.
And we see that the white man uses our woman.
He does. Yes, sir.
He takes her car. He don't see them brothers and take their car. They say single mothers. Thousands of single mothers. Because a nation can rise no higher than its woman. So the messenger used to have in his articles, he used to have the filth of the filth. And he says up under this, it says the devil's last attempt to tempt the righteous, the black man, away from his righteousness to evil and filth. This is the same old way that he tempted our first fathers to fall from paradise into the wilderness of the earth, Europe and America. Read the warnings of Jesus, see Bible, Holy Quran, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. So every week he's showing us this how Yaqub got us to fall from paradise. Paradise is heaven.
Yes, sir.
We ain't no spook heaven.
Right.
Paradise is heaven. But how we fell from heaven was this half-naked stuff. Getting sisters, getting brothers to be looking at these half-naked sisters and wanting that to be a part of our world. That's how we fell. And the messenger always had this up. Letting us know this is another trick of the devil.
That's right.
Because he got these single mothers he targeting. So this his trick with all this half-naked stuff. Getting brothers to or sisters to accept this half-naked way of life. So he also had, in the Muhammad Speaks, another cartoon. Because he had cartoon after cartoon after cartoon.
That's right.
Showing us what it is. In a little soft way.
Yes, sir.
Because when you read the messenger's articles, that was the hard way.
Right.
But when he used to give you these little cartoons, he trying to give it to you soft.
Right.
So you can get the same message from the cartoon that you can get from the article.
Yes, sir.
So in this particular cartoon, it has the brother with his son in the museum. And it says the white people haven't made any progress in the direction of becoming civilized. He says they wore miniskirts in the caves and they wear them today. The white man, this is his way. But he forced his way on us because he know that his heaven is our hell.
That's right.
But he know we don't know that. We think it's a spooky heaven up in the sky. But he knows because he don't target his women to take their cars and find his women. His children have to find another way to go to school and go to the doctor. They can do what they want to do, but our women, they target them. They know that they target them and they don't stop them. They auction their car away from the same police officer that take it through this filth and indecency.
Yes, sir.
We don't want to accept the truth. The truth too hard. We don't want to do that. But the white man say, okay, since you don't want that, I got something for you. And he keep having it for us because the messenger always had cartoons. Show us what it is.
Right. Yes, sir.
This right here is Muhammad's teaching of self-help. Ain't nothing got to do with nothing spooky.
That's right.
Everything he taught us was something real. Everything he taught us was something real. And the first step was cleaning yourself up.
Yes, sir. That's right.
All praise is due to Allah.
That's right. Yes, sir.
So he has a picture of the brother sitting down on the park bench. And you see, after he accepted the messenger teachings, he cleaned himself up.
Yes, sir.
And this was the process that people saw of the messenger's followers. They actually see this stuff. Like, wow, this brother used to be a wino. This brother used to be a dope head. This brother used to be a pimp. This brother used to be a gangster. Now, he in the nation.
Yes, sir.
But the beautiful thing about the nation, because we a lot of times talk about the brothers and the sisters in the street. The messenger also had PhD brothers
Yes, right.
who accepted Islam too.
That's right.
We don't want you to think it's one-sided. The brother messenger had PhD brothers
That's right.
who
Right.
was Muslims too.
Right.
This brother right here name is brother Khalil Shabazz.
Yeah.
Now they say that a PhD is permanent head damage.
Yes, sir.
I agree. But this brother got a PhD in mathematics.
Right. Yes,
That's
sir.
something totally different, bro. I went to college and I tried to major in math. You know what I was thinking? I was like, I had one time what made me as I was going to major in history. And one time I was running late to class. And I went through the biology department. Nothing but devils. But when I got to the history department, it wasn't nothing but black people. And I'm like, dang, they got us in all of this history and sociology. I'm like, I'm going to try to do math. I'm going to take math and try to major in math. Brother, you work for that.
Yeah.
That ain't one of them class you just wasting time, taking notes, and then you argue in class a little bit, take a little test, and then you get your No, we used to be sitting in class in that math. Some of them formulas used to be half the page. Then they'd give you 20 of them for homework. Then you sitting in class with some people who go to these top schools. Because I just came out the Navy. I ain't been to school in years. Them kids used to correct the professor. That's how it is when you taking that math. It don't be like you just in there chilling. You in there really like, oh my God, let me take these notes. Let me listen. I'm going to record this. So I have it at the house. Math is a degree. I tip my hat to this brother. All praise due to Allah. This brother had a PhD in mathematics. But the beautiful thing about this picture is that he wasn't no different than the brother who was the wino.
That's right.
He represented the messenger's teachings the same way them brothers who was winos and was Muslims.
Right.
Or ex-winos and became Muslim ministers. You see him standing there, Muhammad speaks.
Right.
Same way.
Right.
It says, addressing core convention in Baltimore, Dr. Lonnie Shabazz, insert on the podium, minister of Muhammad's Mosque of Islam number 4, outlines the messenger of Allah's dynamic new plan to lease 100,000 acres of government-owned land and purchase other land in the south and southwest to establish giant, fully merchandised farms or mechanicalized farms to help fight poverty and want among black Americans. He received thunderous ovations from an audience, including Chairman UC and CORE's National Director Clyde McKenzie. So this brother, just like these national representatives, got a thunderous applause. This brother had a PhD in mathematics.
Yes, sir.
Malcolm X only went to 8th grade. It ain't, all we doing is saying what the messenger said. That's it.
That's right.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
So if you got a PhD, you ain't got a PhD. You only went to the 8th grade. The same applause Malcolm X got, this brother get. The same applause all these other big guys get, you will get to if you just say what the messenger said. It's the same.
That's right.
Because it's Allah's offer.
Yes,
He offered to us money, good homes, and friendships and all. Malcolm wasn't offering you that.
That's right.
Dr. Lonnie Shabazz wasn't offering you that. Malcolm X and any of these other, Muhammad Ali, they wasn't offering you nothing. But they was representing the messenger,
That's right.
who was the messenger of Allah. And Allah, all praise due to Allah.
That's right.
And Allah is offering to us money, good homes, and friendship in all walks of life.
That's right.
On the condition that we submit to Him and clean ourselves up and divide ourselves of the devil's habit.
That's
On the
right.
condition,
Praise be to
all
God.
praise is due to Allah.
Yes, sir. That's right.
So we have in the Nation of Islam under the messenger, they used to take these pictures of the MGT. Because we got to remember, a nation can rise no higher than its one. We can't be acting like the sisters and the brothers is two separate and all. We a nation.
That's right.
The nation can rise no higher than its one. We see how, because in that documentary where they was auctioning off them homes, she was a single mother. Single mother with children. Her children, I think, was in college. While they auctioned off her home that she lived in. They targeted single mothers taking their houses. But Allah, He offering to us money and good homes.
Yes, sir. That's right.
What He offering to us? On the condition that we submit to His will.
That's right.
So they used to take pictures of MGT and sitting in the crowd during the big mass meetings. Look at how sharp these sisters look. That's the one thing that you see in the Nation of Islam. The messenger gave us an example of what happens when you do submit
Yes,
to the
sir.
will of
That's
Allah.
right. Yes,
That's
sir.
why ain't nothing spooky.
That's right.
Because we have an example of what happened when black people was submitting to the will of Allah. Because the devil couldn't do this to these MGT. Couldn't take their car and think that they children gonna have to walk to school and all that. Messenger had a way.
Right.
Allah offered to us money,
Yes, sir.
good homes, and friendships in all walks of life if we submit to His will.
That's right.
We got examples. We ain't just talking no talk. You can look around now and see, like, it ain't nothing, nobody in here. Yo, where did all this stuff at? It don't make no difference. The messenger came.
Right.
He already showed us what it is. You can accept it or reject it.
That's right.
It don't make no difference, and we ain't got no supermarket in here. There's 2 or 3 of us. The same offer is given to you.
Right.
Allah offering you money, good homes, and on the condition that you submit to His will.
That's right.
Don't make Allah no difference. When what they talk about, the Hebrew boys was in the fiery furnace, same offer. It wasn't no different, same offer. Where regardless of what condition you in, He makes your condition better
That's right.
upon submitting to His will.
That's right.
So when you see these MGT under the messenger, you can count in the crowd how many sisters you see with minks on. Talking about full length
Right.
minks, brother. They showed one time outside in Chicago, number 2, them sisters standing. I'm talking about groups of sisters with furs. I'm talking about with the gloves on, with the nice, you know what I'm saying? They wasn't looking shabby. Them brothers too.
Right.
Them brothers too with them clean FOI uniforms, they had minks on too. Telling you. The messenger showed money.
That's right.
God praise due to Allah. Telling you. You go look at them old Muslim pictures under the messenger and see them Muslims. The messenger gave us an example. He didn't just tell us that Allah offers us money, good homes, and friendships in all walks of life. He gave us an example of it. And he showed us what we have to do to get that.
Yes, sir.
It ain't going to be easy building heaven.
Right.
You got to catch hell to build heaven.
That's right.
Because he told us about how Yaqub, what he did in heaven. Heaven was in Mecca, paradise.
Right.
He used filth and indecency to get us out. And the message say it was a war in heaven. They was fighting in heaven. War in heaven now. We fighting for the teachings of the messenger. All praise be to Allah. When the messenger told us this history, it wasn't for back then. Everything he taught us we can relate to now. Because when they was in heaven and the devils was in heaven causing trouble for 6 months, you would think that when them people was running them out, all of them would have been happy. They getting rid of these devils. The same people who causing us trouble. But you always had some, let me hide you. Let me hide you over here. You always had those who sympathize with those people who practice in filth and indecency. Even today. It's the same thing. It's a war in heaven. It's a war in heaven. You got to fight. Islam is for those who want it.
That's right.
It's a lot of Muslim imposters. People who posing like they Muslims.
Right.
But the thing about the messenger that I love about the Muhammad Speaks newspaper is he gave us the key. Because everything that we deal with now, the messenger dealt with in the Muhammad Speaks newspaper if you read his articles. The messenger had an article. This comes from, because another thing I like, the Muslims during the time of the messenger echoed what the messenger said. It wasn't like you had one Muslim who was saying what the messenger said, then another Muslim saying something different. When you read the messenger's articles, you will hear a unison of Muslims and the messenger. Because when you used to see these sisters dressed up so nice, what effect did that have on the lost founds? Because the lost founds was looking at these sisters too. And you have in the Muhammad Speaks, they used to show the effects of what these MGT and what the lost founds used to see and how it used to affect them. This was a Muhammad Speaks newspaper. It says influence of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is seen on New York University campus where co-ed Patrice Wiggins, Darlene Booth, and Iris Johnson standing under a superimposed star and crescent symbol model ankle-lift Muslim-inspired attire they now wear on the campus. Because when they used to see MGT during the time of the messenger, you would come to the bakery. You would see a sister like this. Dressed up, representing the messenger. So that used to inspire people.
Yes, sir.
That's how you build heaven.
Yes.
You building heaven. You influencing people. People seeing the change. Because the black man is righteous by nature.
That's right.
So when you show them something, some heaven, and they see it, they're going to try to imitate you. But at first, they might not accept it, but they're going to try to act like you. See these Muslims, let me try to dress like them. They don't drink, let me try to stop. Because when I first came around Muslims, first thing I tried to stop doing was eating hard. I wasn't even no Muslim. I used to love hard. But the effect of the Muslims, seeing how they used to look, how clean they was, how sharp they was, I started respecting what they say. Because at first you look at him. Look and see what he look like. Then once you start respecting him, it's like, wow, he said hog was divinely prohibited. I ain't never heard that. Let me stop eating hog like him. You know, see what it do. So I stopped eating hog. Then I want to stop doing something else because you see the benefits of that.
Right.
It ain't like when you start practicing the messenger teachings like you feel like I can't eat this and I can't. You see the benefits of it.
That's right.
You see the benefits of eating right.
That's right.
You see the benefits of dressing different. Dressing different.
Right.
When people see you with a suit on, how often do people see brothers with suits? Clean suits.
Right.
Press suits. That alone. Just stand there with a paper with a suit on.
Right.
You gotta say nothing. They looking at you like, wow, this brother got a suit on. I saw a sister one time bought a paper from me because of that. She told me that most of these brothers I see around here be sagging. I ain't you the first brother I seen with a suit on in a long time. Let me get one of them papers. I didn't even see her. I'm up here and she coming from this way. I didn't even see her. Just had a suit. All praise with the Allah. Had a suit on. The messenger. Little stuff that he teach us goes a long way.
That's right.
Just like with them MGT. Little stuff. Them just wearing their garments. Because when you see this, you're going to be influenced by that. You're going to be influenced. I know when I be with my wife and we in the supermarket, I done saw, because sometimes I act like I don't see the sisters when they looking. Now I do that. I be acting like I'm all up on the shelf. But I see them. They'll be with the short stuff on. And I'm like, what's that like that? You know, and they'll start kind of pulling on it. You know what I'm saying? Because that self-accusing spirit, you righteous by nature.
That's right.
You know the white man's the devil, but you don't just know it like that. You can feel it. So when you see something righteous, you like, wow, I shouldn't be wearing this. They start pulling on it. I see them do it all the time. But sometimes you have them more rebellious sisters look like, she thinks she is. You know, I see them. I be acting like I don't, but I see them. And I'm telling you, people be proud to see you with your wife. Y'all clean. Y'all looking nice together as Muslims. Black people will walk up to you like, brother, y'all look good. That's all praise to Allah. That's heaven. You attracting people into heaven. Money, good homes, and friendships in all walks of life.
That's right.
The white man don't have friendships in all walks of life because his heaven is the black man's hell.
That's right.
He the only white man is the only rebel in the human family. He the only one that's opposite. He the only all praise to Allah. Everybody know it. He the only one. He the only rebel. He the devil.
Right.
The Caucasian white man is the devil.
That's right.
So everybody know he the devil. I just want to show another picture. These sisters. This was at the messenger's funeral. But look at these sisters. All minked out. Muslims. This Islam. This our heaven.
That's right.
Money, because in the church they proud of being poor. They ain't got nothing. They teach that the long suffering and pick up your cross and all that. No. Allah promises us money.
That's right.
They can't say Jesus promised you money. They can't say that in the church. Who promised you money in the church? But our God, Master Farad Muhammad, promises us money, good homes, not just a house, not just some rat and roach infested house, good homes and friendships in all walks of life.
That's right.
And the example that we can show of friendships in all walks of life, they had an article, Newsweek. It was 2014. They had Islam in America. They said that even though the Nation of Islam is the smallest group of Muslims, they said there's millions of Orthodox Muslims in the country. Millions. But they said it's only 3 Muslims that every Muslim in the world know by name. Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, and Louis Farrakhan. Them was the 3. Followers of the Master. Friendships in all praise to Allah. That's the messenger. When the messenger suspended Muhammad Ali for a year, he talked about his name. He said, I gave him that name to show black people that what you get when you accept your own.
Yes, sir. That's right.
It wasn't about Muhammad Ali being no boxer. But that's what the white man tried to, uphold. He was the heavyweight champion of the world. How many heavyweight champions? Joe Frazier was a heavyweight champion. Right. Mike Tyson was a heavyweight champion. Right. You had many heavyweight champions. Right. But show me a Muhammad Ali. Show me a black man that can go anywhere in the world and they know who you are and respect you from following the message.
That's right.
They respect Muhammad Ali for his stands against the war. Yes. Muhammad Ali changed millions of black people's perspective just by following the teachings of the message. That's right. That's right. The Muslims have been doing that for years when Muhammad Ali wasn't even born a baby. Right. You had Muslims not going to the war. That's right. But since Muhammad Ali was already popular and he started following the teachings of the message, more people can see him. Because that not going to Vietnam stuff wasn't new in Muslims. You can do the research on Muslims and see how many Muslims went to prison. That's right. For not going to the war. Right. A lot of Muslims went. I'm talking about brothers 22 years old. Getting years for not going to the war. So Muhammad Ali didn't do nothing new. Muhammad Ali just started following the teachings of the message.
Right.
And he became the most popular Muslim in the world. Everybody in the world knew Muhammad Ali. That's what they say about him. You could say his name and everybody knew who you was talking to. Just by following the teachings of the message.
Right.
Master Farad Muhammad, our God, promises us money, good homes, and friendships in all walks of life. That's what he promises us. Then you got another picture of even the young sisters, the junior MGT, dressed up looking like their mothers. Influencing, showing us heaven. Look how attentive they look. Ain't none of them sleep. Ain't none of them looking up in the sky. All of them paying attention to what's going on.
Right.
That's heaven. And that's all praise is due to Allah. So, this article right here was written by Sister Baina Sharif. Because we got to understand, once you get some heaven, how do you maintain heaven? How do Muslims maintain heaven once you get it? Because you can get heaven and lose heaven. You can get heaven and somebody come in and destroy your heaven.
Right.
How do Muslims maintain heaven? It says, this is from Sister Captain Baina Sharif, and this is on life in the Sudan. It says the largest portion of the Sudanese society are strong Muslims. Thus, the Muslim society as a whole ostracizes, overlooks, and separates those who go against the teachings of Islam. They are quick to cut themselves off from those who go against the teachings of Islam. They are quick to cut themselves off from those who go against the basic teachings of good. She said, on the plane which took me from Germany to the Sudan, I met some Sudanese students who studied in Germany. I enjoyed associating with them because they were familiar with the Western society, and I was new to their Islamic society. It was this group who took me with them when they went to visit a doctor who was their former colleague in Germany. He had set up a nice office, but it was empty. It's a doctor now. He with Muslims. Muslims different than Christians now. She with these strong Muslims. You got this doctor, he got an office, but it's empty. So she says he had been seen associating with Europeans more so than with his own kind, and was seen patronizing the two existing nightclubs in the capital of Sudan, which I believe are now owned by Greeks and Syrians. He was also known to indulge in alcoholic beverages. With such information known about him to the public, the good Muslim public didn't trust his ability to administer physical aid. Those who took me to visit this doctor told him that if he wanted to be successful and establish good relations with the public, he would have to stop drinking and make a better impression of himself to his relatives and the public. He would have to live up to the general code of ethics on his society, which are the basic laws of decency of his society. All praise be to Allah. That's Islam. When the messenger said, accept your own. Your own. What's your own? Islam.
Right.
So he had Sister Baina Sharif writing articles every week about life in the Sudan. Showing black people what it is when you live in a Muslim society. Heaven in the Muslim society different from heaven in the white man. You free to practice filth and indecency in the white man's heaven.
That's right.
But when you come to Islam, you're not free to practice filth and indecency. You get ostracized.
Right.
In Islam, when you practice filth and indecency. That's accepting your own.
Right.
If you can go to a Muslim temple and you can have a Muslim breaking the rules and that Muslim can still come around, that ain't Islam.
That's right.
That's church.
That's right.
Muslim, strong Muslims, she said. Because you got weak Muslims. She said strong Muslims ostracized this brother. He was black like them. He was a Muslim like them. But they told him, until you accept Islam, you ain't going to be successful around us.
That's right.
That's Islam.
That's right.
Islam ain't all this sympathize.
That's right.
Islam ain't all this sisters get to post on Facebook that they don't wear their headpiece and you don't do nothing. No, The messenger said the so-called Negro must clean up.
That's right.
All praise is due to Allah. Must clean up. And he gave us an example of when that half-naked stuff crept into heaven. And what happened? He had that in the Muhammad Speaks every week to let everybody know. This how you lost paradise.
Right.
Accepting filth and indecency.
Right.
This how you lost. He had Sister Bind, MGT captain. Letting everybody know. This Islam right here.
Yes, sir.
When the messenger saying accept your own, that's what he talking about.
Yes, sir.
Islam. So it goes on to say, this is just an example to show you, the reader, that one who carries the habits of a Western Christian society into a Muslim society will not be met and accepted by the Muslim inhabitants of that country. This doctor was a black Sudanese, but he was not accepted by his own people because he was not conducting himself as a black Sudanese and was therefore acting other than himself.
Yes, sir.
What the messenger say? The greatest teaching and warning to us was accept your own and be yourself.
Yes, sir.
That's the greatest teaching. And warning. Warning to you, because this is what's taking over. All that sympathy stuff ain't taking over. Where you see a Muslim who say they are Muslim. Because the thing about social media, you don't have to go on people's particular pages to see this. They share it with the world. When you had these sisters who saw these Muslims and they decided to cover up, these sisters wasn't Muslims, but they saw Muslims.
Right.
They saw how they was dressed.
Right.
And that influence on them was so strong that they went on campus and started wearing long. This was the time with a miniskirt. It was miniskirts was the popular culture or the popular dress thing. But the Muslims influenced heaven so strong that even the lost files who ain't even accept would pick up some of that heaven like, I want to cover myself up.
Right. Yes, sir.
That's Islam.
Yes.
So what about now when you got this new school stuff where people just want to share this stuff all on Facebook because you can accept what you want to accept, but the offer is being made to you.
That's right.
The lost files or the Muslims or the so-called Negroes must clean up.
That's right. Yes,
So you
sir.
can be on Facebook and see these Muslims, see they don't cover up, see these brothers wearing beards, and you say, well, I want that. The penalty's still the same. The fire is which one will survive the war of Armageddon. It's a war in heaven. So you might be seeing an imposter Muslim, a brother who got a suit and bow tie on and got on a beard. What that mean to what the messenger said about a beard? It's still filthy.
That's right.
You still filthier than a dog. You still got a germ catcher on your face.
That's right.
Don't make no difference if you see somebody with a bow tie on. Cause I saw this brother. He made a Facebook post talking about why he liked beards better than shaving. Then you got all these Muslims, so-called weak Muslims, that she talked about, that you would have got ostracized if they was around strong Muslims. Agreeing with this brother. Brothers writing like, yeah, I like my beard too.
Right.
That's the kind of Islam we in today. It's a war in heaven.
That's right.
Keep it real. It's a war in heaven.
That's right.
Some of these sisters be looking like Nicki Minaj. Then still be coming to the temple.
Right.
I couldn't even think straight. If I saw a sister who, through the week, she got on a low-cut blouse showing her breasts. She got on a mini skirt. And she at the club with her boyfriend. And then she come in here in the garment talking about Assalamu alaikum. I couldn't even think straight with that sister. This temple ain't big enough
Right.
for us to be up in here together.
Right.
That's a Muslim. All praise due to Allah.
That's right.
This was a doctor who they saw who was with these devils. The white man's heaven is the black man's hell.
That's right.
That's what it is. So when you see a Muslim, a so-called Muslim, who acting other than themselves, they supposed to get ostracized
That's right.
by the Muslim community. Ain't no sympathizing. Ain't no, because one thing about the Messenger's articles, because she went on to say, she says the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is teaching the so-called Negroes to drop the habits of the Western Christian society. He is preparing the so-called Negro to meet their own and thus fulfilling the prophecies of the Bible, Malachi 4 and 6. Well, brothers and sisters, we don't want to prolong the time. So I leave you as I came in the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum.
Enjoying the show? Help keep us on the air. 313-371-7033. That's 313-371-7033 to make a donation.
Brothers and sisters, we rise for prayer. Stand with our feet at a 45 and our hands outstretched. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful. So, Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live. The alone do we serve, and the alone seek for thine help and aid. O Allah, please guide us on the right path, the path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard thy teachings. Say he, Allah is one God. Allah is he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begat us not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none is to be served, worship or praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is our true servant and last apostle. Ameen. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us not to do anything to anyone that we wouldn't have done it to ourselves, and treat everybody right, even the devil. Assalamu alaikum.
Detroit, Elijah Muhammad Film Festival. Celebrate his life. Experience his message. Free admission every Saturday in October, 3 p.m. at Muhammad's Temple of Islam, 12609 East McNichols. For more information, 313-371-7033. 313-371-7033.